Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. My name's Joe Stocking. I am Head of Music and Media at West Suffolk College. I have a bunch of staff here who are going to talk a little bit about their different courses. The main reason for us all being here today is to answer any questions you might have about our courses, and also just to give you a bit of an overview really of the department, what we do, what our ethos is, what it's all about. But by all means, please ask questions throughout, and we'll come through and we'll answer them as and when. So if we start at the top there, we have Andy Guy. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Andy.
Okay. Hello, I'm Andy Guy. I run the music technology course. You want me to talk about the course now too, or just talk
No, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
Okay, then.
And to your right, I'm not sure what's the same here. We have Scott. Scott isn't a member of staff, by the way. Scott, over to you.
I'm a level 2 student for the broadcasting and digital media production course.
Okay, excellent. Then we have Mark, who's on mute. Still on mute.
You're still on mute, Mark.
Technology at its finest.
Okay, so now in stereo. Hi, I'm Mark Jones, and I'm head of the broadcasting and digital media course.
Okay, and Warwick.
Yeah, I'm Warwick Lowe, and I'm course director for Level 3 Media and Film Production, and I lecture on the Level 2 Media and Film Production course.
We also have Caleb. You can't see him, but he's at the bottom there. Caleb, you want to say hi?
Hi, I am Caleb Cargill, and I am in the Level 3 Music Tech Extended Diploma course. I'm sorry about the late join. Some technical issues on my side.
You're here at last, so it's nice to have you here. Okay, so our school is made up of about 250 students, either studying a music-related course or a media-related course. So we have the future of film producers, music producers, composers, broadcasters, journalists, lighting and sound engineers, basically anything within those industries, and we cover it within our area. So we often at these events have sort of questions from parents in particular about, it's a bit of a risky industry to get into. All about sort of consistency. Maybe I should do something, take the safe option if you like. But I have some stats here, and actually the UK creative industries is valued at £91.8 billion, and that has been growing over the last 5 years. And actually, even through the first lockdown, and obviously the second lockdown we've got here, that has continued to grow. Obviously, more people than ever are moving to media, and they're watching Netflix constantly, and our students are the future of that. So we have students who are always going to be in employment, many different jobs. And actually, part of our role here is to make you all aware of all those different opportunities that are out there. So the jobs I listed then are certainly the top jobs, if you like, but there are hundreds upon hundreds of other jobs within these industries which our training will give you the opportunity to gain entry into that. So our courses run from level 1 all the way up to level 4, which is the first year of a degree. And what we try and do within the department is to get projects which cross over. So within this team, this is only about a quarter of the whole music and media team. We try and devise projects which allow you to network within the department. It's almost a little hub of creativity. So if someone on media is producing a music video as part of their project, the expectation is that they will use some of the music students' productions for that. We do live shows. We do an awful lot of live stream work now, which I know Mark and Andy will talk to you about in a second. So it's about being vibrant, it's about being creative and looking at all opportunities to get people working together. Rather than me rambling on, does anybody, do you have any questions coming through at the moment? Let's have a look. I'll come to them in a second. I think it'd be good to go to Scott and Caleb actually, because rather than me saying how great it all is, I think it'd be useful to, and Travis, sorry, hello, this is Travis who's appeared.
Yes.
Just to talk about what it's like to be a student within the department. So we'll start with you, Scott. What's your views? I haven't prompted anyone for this, by the way. This is completely off the cuff. So you're getting a realistic
completely, yeah.
Maybe you should have done, but no.
I think I'd say over the last 1 and a bit years that I've been at the college, there's been a lot of opportunity for productions to happen that apply to a unit of work we're doing, but it's in a way that we learn new things each time, and our course director kind of pushes us in the right direction to kind of make the best work we can while learning new things each time. I think that's really important. Yeah.
Definitely. What about you, Travis?
Yeah, so I study media and film production level 3, and I really just love the freedom that it gives me. It gives me the freedom to creatively express myself, and really work with some experts in the department, and I just really enjoy it. You know, I didn't get on too well with my secondary school, and since coming to college, I feel so much more free, so much. Yeah, I just really love it, and I really wouldn't trade it for anything else. And yeah, the department's a great place, very friendly people, and yeah, I really enjoy myself.
Excellent, thank you. Caleb, anything from you?
I feel we're very lucky in the last 2 years in our music tech course to have learned so much about how the industry works. We've learned so much about studio production, so much about production. We've got an awesome space in the theatre. We've got all our gear for us. We've had some awesome students to work with musician-wise. And for me personally, I've learned so much that I would have not learned in sixth form after talking to people I know in sixth form doing the same music tech course. I just believe I'm really lucky to be on such an awesome course.
Really, thank you. I found the questions. That's my fault. So I have a couple of questions coming in, which I will fire at various people. So Mark, as course director for broadcasting and digital media production, question here: will we get work experience in actual broadcasting studios?
Yes, we would do, there was so much planned for even the year before last. Actually, we've gone almost exactly a year in this lockdown situation, so the chances dried up literally as soon as we went into lockdown this time last year. And obviously the industry has its own problems, so they're all battening down the hatches. Nobody's coming in and out of the buildings. It's exactly the same as we are in the college, and I'm sure you'd appreciate you are at schools and the situations you're in. But yes, those opportunities, I mean, it's a growing course anyway, but those opportunities were there to take. It was just bad timing, but certainly broadcast, the TV and the radio industries, yes.
What I do have here, and if we get time, I'll show it. There was a trip to the BBC studios where with a compilation video, and actually there's a picture of you up here, Scott, as well. So you actually got to go in the studios and work with the producers of the show. Alongside that, and actually it's worth mentioning also that the TV studio, we basically every time we do a show, we build the TV studio from scratch. So we have multi-camera setup, we have the vision mixer, and hopefully I'll try and show you some pictures of that in the near future. But again, obviously lockdown did have a bit of an impact, but all being well, soon we'll be able to return to normal. Warwick, a question for you which has just come through. What companies do you have connections within media? Oh, you've muted and unmuted. There you
Come
go.
back again. There we go. It is a massive answer to that question. We have connections with companies locally, such as Ember Studios in Norfolk. We have connections with Moving Picture Company, who were the lead animating company for Jungle Book, and they worked on Star Wars and some Harry Potter stuff, and also the just so many high-end films. But we do also have links with much smaller companies, smaller production companies locally, which we use tied in with work experience, which there is, ties in a little bit with Mark's question there as well. The work experience opportunities that come in are with professional companies, where sometimes a student will be out working with a production company, and sometimes a student will be running a small production company working for someone like British Gas, National Trust. Large companies like that actually employ us and our students to go and make promotional films for them. So lots of opportunities for real world work experience.
Yes, what I will do is show you, and actually if you can access the PowerPoint that we put together for open events, there are loads of links on there, and you'll be able to see excerpts of our short film Maximus, which was basically our students going out there and producing a short film, which has been just been registered for a BAFTA, for the BAFTA Awards. And have a look at that, and you can actually see, so the students are actually working directly with people that are out there in the industry, at the top of the industry, and I think it's really important that industry and education comes together. There's a ground in the middle, which is incredibly important, and that's one of the things we really do push here. Right, a couple of other questions. Okay, this one from you, Andy. This one's for you, Andy. In case there are still restrictions next year, fingers crossed there won't be, with this new vaccine, how do you plan to create performance experiences?
Right. Well, what we've been doing this year, well, as part of last academic year, but we're looking to do so this year as well. Well, we have done some, but we've done live streaming events. Now, we were fortunate to where, we couldn't have an audience in, but we were fortunate that we could still be there, and we set up like it was a full gig with full stage, just with some extra precautions for the band members, to prevent any sort of infection transfer. But the vibe of it, so we still had the full concert lighting and all of that, so the vibe of it was like an actual show. Joe's showing some pictures from some of the things we've done. This was this year. So we will still do that. The students get to use all the same equipment, and for the band members themselves, it still felt like a gig, just no physical people, in front of you.
We did also do a festival, online festival called Lockdown Live, which again, we'll try and show you that in a moment. I'm going to get the model in my screen for that. Very sorry. So it's about sort of looking forward, and actually the team in front of me here and students and staff that aren't here either, it's all about trying to think outside the box and being as creative as you possibly can to be able to allow you to still have those opportunities. I've got a question here which has come in, and I'm going to get the students to answer it. So what is the balance between coursework, exams, it says making music here and performing, but it's about, I think really you could answer this for everyone, about being creative. So what is the balance? Scott, if you could answer that, please.
I'd say there's a lot of freedom. The briefs or the units of work allow us to experiment and create an end product for each production. So I'd say it's quite very creative in the discussions we have as a group or with our course directors about our final projects for each unit of work.
Thank you. Travis, have you had an exam yet?
No, I have not had a proper exam yet, but no, I just echo basically what Scott said. Completely, we're pretty much in the same position. Just get our briefs, get some guidance, get our briefs delivered to us really well, and yeah, that's pretty much exactly the same as Scott, and it really allows us to have freedom with it all.
Thank you. And Caleb, there's a slightly different sort of setup for music technology, the way you work. I mean, if you want to share that with everybody.
So it is all practical based. there are bits we have to write down, but it's nothing like essay work. It's essentially putting what we've done into practice into words and reporting it back, and then you have like the career progression stuff where you write about what you're going to do in career. But it is completely freedom based. It's completely practical based, and it's been really helpful for me, who's not a very, I suppose, ethical worker. I like to be hands on and kind of get involved in the production, so it's been really nice in that sense.
The other thing we can do, and this is across the board, we don't get you to do work for the sake of doing work. We encourage you to do research outside, and you have to do research as part of your projects. But everything you do has to have a purpose. It has to move you forward as whether you're a performer, whether you're into broadcasting, journalism, music technology, you name it. Everything you have a starting point, and each time you do a project, you move forward, you become stronger, you become better, and there's a lot of reflection with that. So really, a lot of it is about research, and it doesn't have to be writing 20 pages of research. Research can take the form of practical activities. It could be you messing around with different settings on the camera, various elements of software, and we can also get you to do audio assessments as well. So it doesn't all have to be written. So you can talk through, you can do vlogs, you can do blogs, and that all counts as well. As long as we have that evidence that you've learned something and you're moving forward, there are many different ways for us to do that. Some other questions here. I'll answer some of these. Do you have an end of year show? We do. We have one sort of May time. Obviously, we didn't have one last year. The plan is for this year to have another big show, and that will involve multiple stages, which will be streamed live. So we'll have multiple camera setups. The plan is also to have a cinema area set up for screenings of films. It's about celebrating all the work that's been out there. We're not entirely sure how it's going to look this year, but it is a really important end point for everybody on the course. So fingers crossed, if we get back to some form of normality, we'll be doing something quite large in May time. Another question here that came through: do you have rehearsal rooms? We don't have rehearsal rooms at the moment. What we do is we rent the rehearsal rooms in town or the Hunter Club, which is about a 10-15 minute walk away. Now there are plans to have that brought on site for next September, which will offer a considerable amount of flexibility, but you do have the space to rehearse. At present, it's not on the main site though. Right, I'm going to leave the questions for a moment. Mark, do you want to give me a little bit of an overview of your course? I know I have your some videos and what have you I can show if you would like me to. But yeah, over to you, sir.
Yeah, okay, so basically 2-year course, and we're covering broadcast, as in all mediums of broadcast, whether it's TV, radio, or online, which is where the digital media comes into it. Obviously, everything these days, whether you put it on TV, radio, or whatever it might be, even on radio now, they're sticking cameras in with the presenters anyway, so you can watch things like LBC online. But everything points towards the same thing. It'll all go online, whether it's on demand or you're watching it on social media sites or whatever. So whatever it is we do, we tend to start off by getting the cameras involved and starting a level of just getting the basic skills for the first month or so, where you learn sort of microphone techniques and camera techniques and a little bit of lighting, put little projects together. Then we move on to do things like very basic podcasts or blogcasts, which is probably the lowest form of putting a TV show together, really, which has worked quite well over the past couple of years, I thought. Then we'll move on to further projects which involve things like capturing live broadcasts, live events. God, my mind's gone blank now. No, I got to mention there's so many things.
I have a quick promo here that I'll play. I mean,
oh yeah, it might be good to show the because the last thing we did, and almost exactly to a year to this day, actually, I think it was the 18th of January. I can't remember now, but we went up to the BBC to cover them doing the introducing show, which I thought was brilliant of them to allow us to come in there. I mean, I worked in radio, so I know what it's like being in a studio and it being quite tight and what have you. But yeah, by all means, you know, run GT, as they said.
I'll play I was thinking of playing the DSTV taster.
DST one.
Cool. So this here, again, this was supposed to be launched at the Apex next week.
Saturday, if you're about.
The second time we've had to cancel it. But so this is an event that we were. We basically have a website which is also a TV station which we can do live broadcasting on, and this is the promo for it. So hopefully you'll be able to hear the audio as well, but I'll play it and just so you've got an idea of what it's all about.
It's going to be our biggest Digital Saint event so far. Saturday the 16th of January, we launch our very own 24/7 TV channel, Digital Saint TV, bringing you music, news, live events, films, comedy, gig guides, documentaries, art, dance, and theater. So, what's it all about? Well, it's about you, your music, your events, your venues, your clubs, your news, your comedy, your art, your stories, and your talent. We're kicking it off with a special live show from the Apex on Saturday the 16th of January. Join me, Yogi, featuring some incredible bands from across the region and phenomenal guests from the creative arts industry and the entertainment scene. If you missed the show, you can watch it all on our Digital Saint website, launched on the very same day. For more details and updates, check out Digital Saint at wsc.ac.uk.
Obviously, that's not going to happen next week.
Oh, I'm
Well, we could sneak into the Apex. However, I will just quickly show you our website. So our overarching outward-facing persona is Digital Saint. So that's everything we do comes under that banner. So we have our website. It hasn't gone live yet, and it's still here. But I'll show you for next year. So when you arrive here, we'll have everything. Hopefully, this will be live fairly soon as well. On the screen here is just a quick overview of the film we worked on, which is Maximus. You'll have the show reels on there, library music and samples, so you can see a lot of what's been happening in the department, and you'll have on demand, so that will be live shows that the broadcasting and music tech students will be working. And if you're a performer, a lot of live shows will be on there as well. So if we look at on demand, this is just a tiny selection of some of the video that the students have created. If I just scroll, and they all come under different categories. So this is all on demand. There are hundreds and hundreds of bits of work on there, and that's just a tiny portion of what the students create over the course of the course. To give you an idea, also our partners. So I think one of the questions was, who do we work with, and who are we linked to? So these are some of the names that we work with. So MPC, Tag, Submotion, UAL, the Apex. So yeah, we have a lot of partners out there that we do link to. And since we're here, I will just show you the beautiful faces of the rest of the team, just so you can see that apparently that is actually me a year ago. It's amazing what can happen in a year after lockdown. So here we are. This is the whole team. So we're all here creating different mug shots. Right. Sorry, I am rambling. I do apologise. So let's just see. Warwick, there's some questions regarding sort of do students need to, if they're just using a camera, can they just learn the camera skills, or do they need to be in front of the camera as well?
Right. So there's a couple of questions on here that are related to media, so I'll try and answer those as part of the information on the course. So the level 3 media production course, it's skills based. So you'll be learning how to use, first unit, learning how to use camera, making an edit with the shots that you've taken. Second unit is making an advert where you're learning to research more advanced camera skills and lighting skills. Third project is making a music video. and you'll work with some of the music students on that. You'll use some of the tracks produced by the college music students. And then after that, you're making an audio unit where you're focusing really on just using as many different sounds that you create yourself and layering the audio to really build your production. On another project, you'll be learning visual effects skills and computer animation. And then you have your final major project as well in there. There's also another unit in there that's linked in with sort of industry skills and knowing how to work within the industry, but we tie that in with work experience, so you're still making something, you're not just sitting and writing. As far as the camera skills go, every single project you are learning skills that you need to be able to take the next step. And the next step is the second year, where you start working on group projects. And that's the extended diploma on the second year. So on the second year, you'll be working on, if your main interest is camera, you'll be working as a cameraman. There'll be sound operators, there'll be directors, lighting technicians. Everyone starts to find their own direction, their own niche, and then they work together to produce films in groups on the second year. You won't need to present any times other than twice on the entire course where you need to present, and that's not presenting to the camera, that is standing up and presenting to the class as your idea for your final major projects. As part of the working within the industry, there are times when you will need to stand up in front of people and say, these are my ideas for the film that you've asked me to make, please give me the money to go and make it. And that's just part of the industry, that's just the way it works. So you will have an opportunity to practice presenting, but you won't be presenting to camera. There's one more question in here that said about what kind of software resources, editing, production software will be used. I'm not sure if that question was directed to music or to media, so I'll give you the detail for media anyway. So first up, you start with Adobe. You'll use Adobe Premiere Pro, Audition, which is for audio, and After Effects. And then you'll start using C4D, which is a 3D design software. And then you'll go on to using DaVinci Resolve, which is a professional editing suite for color grading. You'll also use Maya and Mudbox, which are industry standard 3D animation softwares. And we also encourage students to explore a little bit with Blender as well, but it's not something that we support in the lessons as such. Hopefully that answers some of those questions.
Yeah, brilliant, thank you. There was a question there about level 4, digital film production. If you can see the screen now, so this is Maximus, as I mentioned earlier on, which we've been working on for many years now, so you can get an idea of some of the scope of this here. We even had horses. The plan for the level 4 is you make a short film over the course of the whole year. So you will take different roles within that, whether that's as a camera or when you're doing lighting, potentially script writing as well. So basically any role that you can think of within making a film, you can slot into that particular role, and that is your focus for the whole of that year. So by the end of the year, there'll be quite a hefty budget for this as well, that you will create that film and sort of learn more advanced skills than perhaps you've previously had the opportunity to learn. Okay, Andy, anything, would you like to sort of give us a quick update on an overview really of music technology, what it's all about? And
sure, I can also, like work, there's a few questions I can answer the process of doing that, but I've seen a few on here anyway. So music tech, some of the questions actually are asking about differences between them, so I think I might expand a little bit on some of the other music stuff. But music technology is primarily all the behind the scenes work. And are you playing this? So I put together this video. Imagine the theme song for Mission Impossible, because that's what's playing. But this is just a sampling of a lot of the different technologies we work with. So our new digital desk, which is amazing, pyrotechnics, studio work, what this is all about. So, I mean, we're everything that's, and lighting design and operation. So we did all these lights, just a few examples of some of them. So this whole little video is about one technician's effort to get a pyro charge ready the last moment. It's about to blow up any moment now. And boom, live fire. Lots of fun. So, I mean, it's all about, we do things behind the scenes. So that's recording studio work, all the live sound technologies, you know, doing the mix, doing the lighting, pyrotechnics, all the smoke effects. And we also do a lot of the event management and the technical things like how to repair, you know, leads and design acoustics, you know, to acoustically treat a room. I mean, that's the gist of that. I mean, the software that we use is Pro Tools, which is the same software used in Abbey Road and other major studios around the planet. And you get to start learning that straight away. If you did the pop music course, which is about, you know, playing in bands or being a songwriter, you primarily use Logic. And the electronic music course, you also use Logic as well, but we also have some other software that goes with it, like Native Instruments Battery, for example. One of the questions was about becoming a music producer. So there's two different definitions of music producer. Depends on what you're thinking of. So the classical traditional sense is a music producer works with bands, and they would do the music tech course. So that's, you're the person who's in charge of how the studio session goes, helping to develop the song. But a newer definition of music producer is associated entirely with electronic music. And in that sense, you're the person who composes the electronic music itself. So if that's the kind of producer you want to be, you would do the electronic music course. If you want to do the behind the scenes stuff, it's the tech course. And then if you want to play in bands or be like a singer-songwriter, you do the pop music course. That's the basic differences between them. What else? I do like Caleb said, the tech course is done almost entirely as practical. We don't tend to do essays, and the only written work you're doing for the most part is like the same sort of planning documents you would write on the job in industry. And one of the other questions was about an experience, get a chance to do work experience. Now I can tell you, at least for the tech course, you get so much work experience just from doing the course, because we work with external clients as well. Like we work with the broadcast course, and we do the fashion awards show every year. So we're setting up a catwalk and all the lighting effects to go with that, and sound, which is, they really loved that last year. So your work experience tends to be way more than the minimum requirement as just a result from doing the course. So that's how I run things anyway on mine. We can get away with that a little bit better because it is a tech course.
It's also worth noting that the tech students also run our record label, which is Digital Saint Records. So this was our first release. We've got another one coming out next month. So if you have a search for this, you can have a listen to some of the tracks. Obviously, once our website goes live, there are hundreds of different tracks that you can listen to and different artists on there. In fact, I'll just give you a quick overview of some of our existing artists here at the moment. So these are just some of the releases that the students have had, and there are many more as well. So yeah, so it's about trying to create an ecosystem within the department that everyone supports one another as part of the projects that the tutors set. So just going to go to the students. So in terms of work experience, what's your experience of that? We'll go to Travis.
Yeah, so at the moment I'm at Lakenheath Football Club, doing their social media and other sort of general media stuff in a team of other people who are also doing work experience there. So we all sort of collaborate to do media projects that way. It's absolutely fantastic. Social media is also my strong point as well, one of my strong points. And the others, it's great to work with other people in the same position as me. So yeah, I just do work for the football club, which at the moment isn't as possible. But when football was on, you know, we got to go to match days, do media work there, and it's fantastic work experience there.
Excellent, thank you. I think Andy sort of covered a lot of the work you've been doing, Caleb. What about you, Scott?
I've been lucky enough to have some work experience opportunities inside and outside of college since I've been at the course, and the opportunities in the college don't relate as such to the units of work. It's additional work we get the chance to be involved with, just various productions that we get involved with.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. I mean, we've got a system now where external people can contact us directly. I think, as Warwick mentioned, there's all sorts. I think just before Christmas, the NHS wanted us to do some training videos for them, but it's constantly coming through. So in terms of applying, some questions here about entry requirements and what have you. So our level 2 courses have an entry requirement of 5 GCSEs. 4 or below. Level 3 is 5 GCSEs, 3 and below, 4 and above. Now the only courses that specifically require a GCSE at a particular grade is the multimedia journalism course. So if you don't get your GCSEs in Maths and English, then you would need to carry on and study them here, but we wouldn't not accept you onto a course if you didn't have your Maths and your English. It might determine what level you get put on, but in terms of applying, you would apply through the website and you'll get notified of a couple of interview dates. We would then give you a call. We'd have a chat about the course, talk about your grades, talk about what you want to achieve, what your long-term aspirations are. And then we'd want to see an example of some of your work. Okay, so that would be a discussion between you and the interviewee. So for instance, electronic music, I was interviewing this morning, and I'm expecting to hear at least 2, maybe 3 completed tracks as part of that. I know media have got their own set of expectations. If you're out there, you can make a short film on your phone. So it's not about the technology, it's about the willingness and the eagerness to actually achieve something. So if we give you, we have an interview, if we offer you a place, we'd expect to see that example of that work, and then we'll get you back in just before the summer and we'll do some activities with you. And then you have a piece of work that you do just before the course starts with a very strict deadline. And that piece of work also is another condition of your place. It will be related to the course, so it'll be about sort of showcasing what you do and setting you up for the actual course itself. But there are various sort of hurdles that you jump through to get onto the course. We just need to be confident that the course is right for you, and actually, likewise, we need to make sure that the course is right in both ways. There's a couple of other questions that have come through. So there's a discussion here, or a question, sorry, about camera work. Camera work, could you answer that one, please, Warwick?
I'm not sure which direction the question is coming from, but when doing camera making, is that part of photography? So we wouldn't be looking at still photography on the media course if this is what you're asking. We do purely moving images, and the photography department have within the art department have an excellent course, level 3 course, very well regarded, excellent course for photography, still photography. What we do is purely moving images on camera, and we also do, as I said already, animation to a degree, but predominantly it's moving image film production.
Okay, thank you. I know some students do go off, and a lot of the photos I was showing earlier on were taken by media students, so there's no stopping anyone doing anything else on top of the course. In fact, we encourage people to take on as many different opportunities as they can. Okay, we'll have a whole host of videos here to play you and some audio examples to play you as well, but we just don't have time for that, I'm afraid. But if you head over to Digital Saint Productions on Facebook and Instagram, there's a lot of examples of tracks produced by the students, videos, trailers, all sorts, and you get an idea of what our students do and sort of the strength of the work that comes out here. I will also note that completing this course, so if you complete a level 3 and you get a distinction for that, that is the equivalent of 3 A stars at A level. So in terms of getting into universities as a sort of stepping stone, it is ideal. And actually all our students, when they apply for the top first choices, they always get a place, because you finish with an amazing show, an amazing portfolio of work and incredible grades and contacts. And actually we find our students are generally heads and tails above the competitors. Right, we've got a few minutes left. Any other questions coming in?
There's one that I don't know if we've quite. It's what's the difference between electronic music production course and music and media courses? So okay. I've kind of broken down the 3 music. I don't know if I can't really answer so much for media.
Well, there are similarities between all of the courses in the way that they are structured and run. You know, I'm lucky enough that I've been able to lecture on the music courses as well as the media courses, so I've seen how they work, and they're very similar in the way that they run, in as far as the brief is the overall aim for the unit, and then you are free to collaborate with other students to work on your own work, to work on your own designs, your own production, experimentation, idea development. It's all skills development on real world industry relevant information. So in that regard, they are actually very similar, but obviously one is looking at live music, performance, composition, recording. One is looking at film production, and as Andy's already said, with his music technology, and electronic music production as well, is, you know, looking at music production, music composition through software and sampling and other devices as well, which I don't know too much about. But yeah, the actual structure of the courses themselves are quite similar.
Okay, we're just about to finish. I'm going to have a quickly go around everybody. Scott, when you call your name, you can see you just going, oh, no, it's not ask me. Right, and I'm going to ask all the students the same. What is the best thing about being on your course?
I'd say the best thing is the experiences we get and the opportunities we get throughout the whole of the course, the opportunities we get that teach us something I think that's most important.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, Travis, over to you.
Yeah, I really like the content for medium film production course. I think I really enjoyed the advertising one. I enjoy pretty much all of them anyway. But you know, the advertising one, you know, really sort of made me research, made me look into things, made me really enjoy myself. And I got to work with a few friends on it, and yeah, no, it was really fantastic. So yeah, just definitely the content for me.
Thank you. Caleb, quickly from you.
3 things. I have to say the freedom's awesome. The freedom to be able to pick our final projects and what we do with our coursework. I like the fact that it's an industry feel as well, so everything is down to the T in terms of how we work like in the industry. And a sense of community as well, especially in the music department, how we work hand in hand with the EMP lot, the performing lot, and even with other courses as well.
Brilliant. Thank you. And quickly from the staff, what's your favourite lessons to teach, Andy?
There's a lot of them. Studio production has been a lot of fun this year. Live sound is always fun, although it's got extra restrictions because of the pandemic. But still, those are kind of tied. They're both fun.
Excellent.
It doesn't feel like class to us in there, so we're having fun about what we're doing.
Thank you. Warwick, same to you.
Probably when we start to really learn how to manipulate the viewer. You know, we start looking at that in advertising, and the students get to understand just how manipulative media can be and the visual image can be. Open their eyes a little bit. It's good.
Okay, thank you. And Mark.
Yeah, briefly echoing what Andy said. For me, I'm like a kid in a candy store there. Anyway, I come from a fast and furious and very poppy young broadcast background, and it's all sort of breakneck speed and stress, and that's the way I like it. And it's just the experience when you finish in a massive project at some of the events we've done, you come back at the back of it and you go, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Definitely. Lots of late nights as well involved.
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us this evening. I think the short of it is that actually, if you want to be creative, if you want to get out there and create an amazing portfolio and have an amazing career in the creative industries, then yeah, come and apply for one of our courses, and we'll interview you, make sure it's right for you, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Any other questions, just please email the admissions department and we'll get back to you. So thank you very much. Have a good evening.